Speaker 1.
There was a big sales conference coming up, and our boss called us all to a meeting about it. I was tired, having been out late with my friends the night before, and I don't think I was really listening properly. Anyway, we were all given our products to present, and we had to prepare a talk and demonstration to present to the sales force. I decided to work really hard on my own to create a good impression on my boss. On the day of the meeting, one of my colleagues got up first and presented my product. I was shocked. I tried to find my boss to find out what was happening. It turned out that I had prepared the wrong talk for the wrong product. I was horrified, and it was my turn next to speak. I had to make an apology in front of my boss. It was terrible. I've always paid attention in meetings since then.
Speaker 2.
Last week I went to the cinema with my friend Becky. I should say at this point that I'm new to the city, having only moved here a couple of months ago. Anyway, we'd arranged to meet at 10 to 7 outside the Odeon cinema. I was a bit late, but there was still plenty of time before the film started, so that wasn't a problem. What was a problem was that Becky didn't turn up. I waited till 7 and then rang her on her mobile. "Where are you?" she says. I tell her I'm outside the Odeon cinema and ask her where she is. She says she's outside the Odeon too. "You can't be," I say. What I didn't know was that there are 2 Odeons in Oxford, and I'd got the wrong one. Luckily they aren't far apart, and so Becky gave me directions to the other cinema. We had a good laugh about it later.
Speaker 3.
We hadn't got any plans for New Year's Eve, and my girlfriend and I were wondering what to do. We'd rung a few friends to see if they were at a loose end, but everyone seemed to have plans. Finally, I asked a couple we'd met fairly recently, Rob and Rosie, if they were doing anything. I spoke to Rob on the phone, and he said they usually got together with a set of old friends from university, but why didn't we pop round for a drink and a bite to eat with them in the evening? So we turned up about 8:30 and walked in on a dinner party in full swing. And it was obvious we weren't expected, as there weren't any spare places at the table. Anyway, apparently Rob had said New Year's Day on the phone, so we were 24 hours early. They were really nice about it and made us feel welcome, but I felt terrible and just wanted the floor to swallow me up. It was so embarrassing.
Speaker 4.
It was about 3 months ago, I guess, and we'd been invited to my brother's for the weekend. He'd just moved house, so we hadn't been there before. He rang me beforehand and told me how to get to his cottage, which is in a small village in the middle of nowhere. So we set off, and I didn't bother to check where we were going on the map. We got hopelessly lost because I'd written down the wrong road. I thought my brother had said, follow the A214, but he swears he said the A241. Anyway, we got there in the end, but about 2 hours late.
Speaker 5.
I'd just got this new job in a big advertising agency. I think I'd been there about a week. I got an email from my boss about a departmental meeting. The email wasn't addressed directly to me, but seemed to be copied to the people in my department, so naturally I assumed I should attend. I set off for the meeting, but I didn't know exactly where the room was, and I got a bit lost on the way, so I arrived about 5 minutes late. I walked into the meeting room, and everybody stopped talking and stared at me. I just said, sorry, I'm late, and my boss thanked me quite kindly, but said that I needn't be there. I felt awful and turned completely red from embarrassment. It turned out that they needed to discuss what projects they were going to give me. I felt such a fool.